This is a JW podcast. You're now listening to Pizza Time. On the 25th of May 2020, George Floyd was tragically killed by 3 police officers in Minnesota, USA, with police officer Derek Chauvin kneeling on George's neck for a reported 7 minutes. I knew in my heart that I could not stay silent in this situation, and I should use this small platform that I have to raise awareness about George Floyd's death, Black Lives Matter, and racism in today's society. This was initially going to be a Wild Thoughts episode, but my friend Aaron, also known as a.k.a, got in contact with me and we decided to do a collaboration of podcasts. The following Pizza Time episode is the first episode in a 2-part series, with part 2 being on Aaron's Roundtable podcast. In this 2-part series, myself and Aaron host an all-black panel to talk about George Floyd's death, Black Lives Matter, and racism in today's society, learning from their experiences and from their point of view. I encourage you to lean in and learn from the conversations we've had. We talked about some seriously powerful stuff, and it's changed me for the better. Anyway, let's get stuck in. I'll see you at the end of the episode. So if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Bex. I'm 20. I study English Lit and Creative Writing.
Very nice. Yeah, that's a good intro.
Hi, my name is Jess. I am 21 and I do computer science with business at university, and I'm a YouTuber and activist and future member of Anonymous, and yeah.
Hello.
Nice.
Hi, my name is Mary. I'm 20. I study law and Black Lives Matter.
Miss Manuela. I just graduated from Media and International Development in UEA.
Cool.
Was it me? Oh yeah. My name is a.k.a. I'm 20 years old and I study computer science at UEA. And once again, Black Lives Matter.
Yes, love it.
Cool. All right. Let's get straight into the questions. Let's not mess about. So the first question we've got is, where is it? When the news came out and the video surfaced of George Floyd, how did you feel, and what were your initial thoughts and emotions?
Well, when I first saw the video, and I know it sounds really quite cruel, but I wasn't even surprised. I opened the video and I saw it. I saw the police on his neck, and I said, I'm going to watch a man die. I was watching it and I said, I'm going to watch a man die. The people who were there, who were filming, we all knew we were going to watch a man die. It was nothing new. It was nothing shocking. It was like, this is what's going to happen. We've seen how this plays out. And it was sad to think that I was even aware that I'm watching a man die. Of course, I was upset. I was outraged. I was angry. But I wasn't surprised. And that's not how it should be.
For me personally, I was the same as Becky as well. I wasn't surprised, but I know I wanted to watch it, because if I'm going to be talking about this situation and speaking about it, I actually wanted to get the context. I needed to watch it, but I had to mentally prepare myself. So I when I saw it, I was like, okay, I know I'm going to watch man die, like Becky said. So I prepared myself. I watched it, and my initial thought was literally not again, because this was the exact same story as Eric Gardner. I watched practically the exact same video about 6 years ago. So this was nothing new. I watched this when I was 15. I've been watching these videos. So as in I should have expected it, but it still was traumatizing having to relive what I felt when I first watched Eric Gardner's video. So I just that's why when I first posted the video, I wasn't even I'm shocked. You should not be shocked. This has been going on for a time. So I literally just said, same story, but different name, because it literally is. It's always the same thing, but a different person. At that point, I was just defeated and tired. So I didn't even feel shocked. The people that feel shocked is people that obviously don't know what's going on, and that's okay. But as a Black woman who's had to see this go on for so long, I was just defeated. I didn't even feel like upset. I was like defeated. Like, why is this going on? Why is this continuing?
So honestly, I was so desensitized to the situation, and I think that really speaks on, you know, just how much we've seen of this. Because when I saw it, I said I kind of had the same reaction as you guys, where I was watching this video and I was so mentally detached from it all. I wasn't even really acknowledging the fact that this guy was dying, because, you know, I've seen it one too many times. I've seen it two too many times. I've seen it three too many times already. Like, and I had to really disconnect myself and think to myself, oh my gosh, why am I not having a more visceral reaction to this? And like, and I really thought to myself, and when I stopped and actually had a thought, that's when I started to cry, because then I realized, like, this man has just got killed, and I'm not caring enough because I've seen it too many times. You know what I mean? So when I first watched it, yeah, I was desensitized to it, but once I took a moment, I actually really processed what was going on and why I was so, you know, nonchalant to the situation. It made me realize just how much this situation is affecting me beyond what I could even realize. And yeah, I just started to cry.
I actually didn't end up watching the video. The first time I saw the headline, it was on the news. There was just a picture of it, so you could kind of see the officer stepping on the man's neck, and I got really, really angry, because for me, I think I was more desensitized by the other ones, the other deaths that have come beforehand. So when I saw this one, I was like, when is it going to be enough? When are we gonna stop being shocked? Because too many people are shocked, and that kind of makes me angry, because why are you shocked? This happens every single day, and it shouldn't be normal. So yeah, I was really angry about it.
I feel like some of the shock could have come from the media. Like, Will Smith quoted it, racism isn't getting worse, it's just getting videoed. So I feel like there comes a particular time or season in society where they choose to just like offload it on us in the media for some reason. So I feel like for a while there hadn't been a sequence of things getting videoed. So now, let's say it's back again. It isn't back, it's been there, but now that it's being bombarded on people, they're like, oh, whoa, racism still exists, even though we've been new. It's just, I feel like because it's so current and trending right now, people are like, wow.
Yes, it's as Mary said, because when I saw the video for the first time, I was like so disturbed, because it's like I literally just saw a black man just get assassinated, and people were telling him to stop, and police officers weren't doing anything about it. No one could do anything about it. It was like one of the saddest things I've actually watched, and that's saying something, because I can watch like a lot of violent things and not feel any sort of way. So that was definitely like really sad. And then it was weird because when you see like a video like this, it reminds you that this stuff happens like all the time, but not all the time that there's always a video like this. And then you're just like, damn, there's just not many words to say.
Yeah, I think for me it was definitely a lot of like sadness for like the person who had died, and then also his family and everyone who had to witness it. But again, I don't really know what to say. I just felt sadness really. And it's just a shame that it's had to come to this, really. But yeah, let's move on to the next question. How does it feel, or how does it make you feel when you see people using All Lives Matter instead of Black Lives Matter?
Sorry.
Oh, please go on.
To me, I think it is a joke. It is an absolute mockery. You're basically trivializing the countless amount of suffering that we've gone through. It, to me, and people, I hate when people are like, well, you can't gatekeep suffering. I can't, because I can't tell you that I've had a worse or better life than you. That, who am I? We, as humanity, we suffer. That is just part of the human experience. We go through suffering, we go through trials and tribulations. But for you to say all lives matter, you are completely eradicating the suffering that we've gone through, that has gone unheard, that has gone unseen, that has gone ignored. And it just gets me so, outraged, because it's like you have the ability, you have the privilege to tell me that, wait, no, all of us matter. I'm aware we all matter, but right now, you're not showing us that we matter. You're not proving to us who are currently dying, who are currently suffering, that we matter. You're saying, oh, I'm sad, you're sad, we're all sad, we all have these moments. But our moments are frequent. Our moments don't end. We don't get to stop. We don't get to pause and change. This is constant. It is so frustrating to see that people are trying to, I guess, I get what they're trying to do, create a sense of unity. Yeah, we're all struggling together, but it's really not. It's not reassuring, it's not consoling, it's so counterproductive in my opinion.
And to kind of
I don't know where he's gone. His laptop might have died again.
Oh no.
Anyway, anyone else?
I 100% agree. It just doesn't make sense. If you actually deep it on the premise of saying, if all lives matter, that means that every single life, every single race will have to matter the same. And if you look at the facts, they don't. All lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter, period.
I feel like personally, like when I hear someone say all lives matter, I picture them going to a breast cancer fundraising like charity event and saying, yeah, well, I have testicle cancer, my cancer matters too. I feel like that's what they do. I feel like they go around to like all the different like chronic disease like charity events and be like, yeah, well, others exist, why do you have your fundraiser event? Like, it sounds stupid, because it is stupid. Like there are like, someone's suffering doesn't cancel another person's suffering. And when I get more furious when white people say it, because like, imagine wanting to make everything about you. Like, why are you making everything about you? Like, it doesn't, it's not always about you. And it just proves the kind of like things that they used to do back in the day. They always made it about themselves, taking other people's land for themselves. All this, now they're trying to take our struggles away from us. Like, it just cancels out. I spent like maybe 2 days ago, this person was really trying to invalidate my feelings as a Black woman on an issue that affects my community, because he felt so entitled, because, oh, well, other things are going on too, blah, blah, blah. Like, all eyes are like, imagine being so clueless and oblivious to situations like this that you feel like you are left out on things and you feel like you can speak about them. So personally, like, if for people that say all lives matter, just picture yourself shouting at your brother for getting a plaster when his legs broke him and saying, I want a plaster too, just because you both are siblings. It sounds stupid. So you probably sound stupid.
Yeah, I agree with everything that everybody said. When people say all lives matter, it's the same thing as saying we're all one human race. Like, we're all aware that we're all one human race, but the problem is that Black people have not been treated as human in the first place. So you saying that is you trying to tell us to be silent, which is completely wrong, and it really frustrates me.
Yeah, all lives matter is just the stupidest thing. Like, whenever I see it, I just think to myself, like, are they actually crazy for saying that? Like, a counter protest to our protest, all Black people are doing is literally just saying, yo, you're literally killing us. It's become a racial thing. Can you just stop killing us? And then people start the audacity just to say, no, but don't we all matter? No, relax. It's like, people are actually so dumb, and it infuriates me, really. So I just don't want anyone to ever say it, around me at least.
I don't know if this was said because my laptop died, but I just wanted to mention about how obviously all lives matter doesn't ever seem to appear. Only ever appears when Black Lives Matter comes up. Like, when I was on Twitter the other day, all of a sudden the Black Lives Matter starts trending. Then next minute I see now all lives matter jumps ahead of it. It's like, as we just said, it's a protest to our protest. Ultimately, it's ridiculous. Like no one's and this is the thing. I don't even want to dilute my message, but no one's saying that all lives don't matter. But what we're saying is all lives won't matter until Black lives matter just as much as everybody else, and that's the thing that people are not recognizing. And by using this all lives matter term, they're continuing to dilute that message.
Yeah, some very good points there. I think for me, all lives matter is the end goal and not the current situation, because we don't see, like, for example, in America, like 2-3 weeks ago, there were protests over hairdresser appointments and nail salons and all this, and I need my freedom and all that. But the police officers were calm, collected with them. They were doing what police officers should be doing in that situation. Fast forward to now, people are being killed over a much more serious issue. So I think all lives matter is not what we're in right now, but it's something that we're aiming towards. But yeah, I think right now Black Lives Matter, and we need to be focusing on that, and all lives matter is a bit irrelevant until who knows when. But yeah, I'm hoping sooner rather than later. But yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next question. The next question is, do you think non-Black people have a right to comment on this situation, as the majority haven't experienced or actually seen what goes on?
I think. Oh, sorry. Yeah, go.
I'm sorry. Okay, so I've had a lot of questions about this actually because of the posts I've been posting. And people actually are generally like very open-minded and want to be like, yo, can you educate me? Can you teach me on all this, etc., which I respect a lot. So personally, I feel like, first of all, it's the approach. Second of all, it's how willing are you to educate yourself on it first and going past and moving forward. A good example of a non-Black person that I respect heavily for speaking on the situation is Ellie from our uni. She is speaking up 10 times more than a lot of celebrities. Like, she's speaking up more than the Kardashians. Like, and she's educating herself as she does it, and I respect her heavily for it as well. There are so many ways in which a non-Black person can use their platform to speak, but you shouldn't do like, but then I should also add as well, if you're gonna be ignorant. Like, it's not by force. Like, it really isn't, because I really be seeing people that used to make slave jokes about me in secondary school, being like, tag 10 people that won't break the trend, tag people. Like, it's not by force, sweetie. It's okay. If you want to be racist, okay. If you want to call me the N-word, it's calm. I'll just block you, because I'd rather you be racist than to be fake woke. Like, it's okay, sis. It's actually
You get
okay.
me.
Like,
So true.
like, why? Like, there's no need. Like, the reason why I say I post what I post and be like, blah, 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 all this, it's to educate people. Because there are some people that just don't know about it. And that's okay. Like, that's why I post things and I share things and all that, so that more people can be educated. Over the past 4 days, I've educated and like explained how people can spread awareness to 10 of my followers. 10. Like, it was 7 the other day. Now it's 10. Like, the small things like that can make a big difference. If you educate yourself, it's okay to do that. But like, if you know damn well you're not gonna listen to facts and all this, then just don't bother pretending to be what you're not. Like, it's okay. I mean, I'm not saying it's okay, but I'm like saying, like, if you're gonna be a racist, be a racist. Like, don't be fake about it. Don't be a snake about it. Like, be racist to my face. Be ignorant to my face. I'd rather you do that, so I know I'm not chilling with you no more. I'm not talking to you no more. I'm not gonna respect you no more. But yeah, it's just more about that. Because Kylie Jenner, yeah, this is also another example. Like I said, Kylie Jenner, the fact that she's like literally a billionaire. She's a billionaire. And the only thing she's done is post, tag 10 people that won't break the trend. Like, seriously? You live in a mansion in Beverly Hills, and the only thing you've done for Black lives is 10 people that won't break the trend? Like if you're going to be ignorant, just be ignorant straight up from the get-go. That's all I have.
I think Kylie Jenner's more interested in her billionaire status than Black Lives Matter. I don't know if you've been seeing her tweets. She like lost her billionaire status, and she tweeted more tweets or whatever it was than any post about that?
She's
Because Forbes want to
kind
try.
of like she posts something and she's like, okay, that's enough activism for me today. Now buy my Kylie Jenner lip kit. Like, just focus on your brand if that's all you care about. Like,
It's an absolute joke.
Yeah.
It's shambolic the way that because obviously we know that Black culture is a trend. Hello, look at the media. Hello, we're aware that you can take our culture, take our features, take our mannerisms or stereotypes and blah, 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 and profit from them. We know this. This is just history. This is a constant cycle that we've seen. We're not surprised by that. But when you then take our features, take our attributes, take our history and our culture and benefit from it, and then you kind of go, I've done my bit. I've done my bit for you guys. I've done my bit for society. I did you not see I posted that picture? Excuse me, kind sir. Excuse me, kind lady. You've used us, okay, and now you're not going to throw us to the side. Either stick by your guns, show the people who follow you, who could be more ignorant, that this can't run anymore. We need to have these discussions. We need to have this discourse. We can't just keep having the same conversation within our community, because most Black people, we're on the same page. We know what we're going through. If we haven't gone through it personally, our brother or our cousin or someone we know has gone through something. So we've had this discussion. We've had the talk with our parents. Don't talk back to the police. We need to be having this discourse, interracial discourse. It needs to happen. I literally had a 4-hour phone call with one of my friends in Kentucky, because his county is very much burn them, get your cross, burn them. We had a 4-hour discussion, and we need to be seeing more of those, because obviously I can't tell you, you can't comment your opinion. Who am I? I can't gatekeep your opinion. But this discussion needs to be had. If you have a question, if you have an opinion, say it to the world. That way we can figure out where this mindset is coming from, figure out how to defeat this mindset, because this isn't stuff that you're born with. This is stuff that you've seen. It's nurtured you. It's changed your way of thinking. And unless we unpick this mindset and this perspective, nothing will be done. Nothing will change. I can tell you, you should support Black lives all I want. But if you're not open or willing to understand why I think we're actually humans and you should try and help us out, then nothing will change. Nothing will be done. It needs to happen.
Yeah, no. But 3 things. One, I wish you guys could see me right now. The way I'm clicking at everything y'all are saying, I love it. I actually love it. 2, Beck, I'm so glad that you said most Black people, because trust me, on this Twitter recently, I've been seeing some Uncle Ruckuses, and I can't. I just can't. I honestly can't. Even I know a few people who've been saying stuff, and I've been like, But yeah, no. I think what we're getting at, the point that we're getting at here is it's all about education at the end of the day. If you're educated, then speak. Because I was having a conversation with some of you guys know my friend Saya, Filipino girl, like was having this discussion, and she was like, before, she's like, the reason why I didn't speak for 2 days on it is because I took the time to read and educate myself before I came and started speaking about things. And I'm so happy that people, are taking the time to read, because when you're coming with your ignorant opinions, then you're not progressing us at all. Like, so yeah, I think anybody who's non-Black should be able to speak about these issues, but please have your education first. Know what you're actually talking about before you come and talk. Because at the end of the day, we are a minority. Do you know what I mean? Like, for our voices to be heard, we are going to need help from the majority. But if this majority are now scrambling our words before they get to the rest of them, like, how's that helping anybody at the end of the day?
I 100% agree, because allies, I think people should be allowed to comment, because allies are important. People like Josh, I rate you so much for using a platform such as this to open up the conversation. It's good, because even when you see videos in America, of white people, non-Black people in general, protesting alongside Black people, even using, did you see that thing on Twitter? The white people use their bodies as a barricade between the Black people and the police. Like, that's what I mean. Like, not just saying with your mouth that, oh yeah, Black Lives Matter, but you're actually willing to put yourself out there and stand up for what is right. So absolutely, they should be allowed to comment, but they should come correct with the comments. That's all.
I'd also just like to add with the thing that Mary said as well. A good example is some of my amazing friends back in London. So we are, we're planning to go to one of the protests in London during this week. And we were kind of like briefing each other. And I was like telling them, like, guys, like, I understand how passionate, but it's okay if we can't go. And I'm like, no, like, just like, first of all, I want to come with you. Second of all, I want to protect you, because I know these police, how they get in protests, and I know damn well they will like stop if I use my voice and my privilege to help you out. So I want to be there to be part of that and to protect as many Black lives as I can. The fact that my non-Black friends, especially white friends, are willing to put their safety to protect me and my voice is very powerful. And I think that's just a good example of how non-Black people can help.
Yeah, I think it's really, really good if non-Black people want to talk about what's going on, but I think they should also use they should educate themselves and also use their education to educate their own Black friends as well, rather than speaking for Black people, because it's important that our voices are heard first, and because a lot of people will not listen to our voices, it's important for other non-Black people to use their voices to educate their own peoples. Then they can be educated to listen to us. But yeah, we should be the prime people to listen to for sure.
Yeah, so as long as some people are educated and respectful, then it definitely helps us if non-Black people talk about this and fight with us. And obviously, because obviously if Black people found their own, we definitely won't get far. And everyone knows that. But I'm more interested in the people that like more interested in people who with like platforms that are silent, because even though I know personally that if you put something on your social media, or maybe even, no offense, but maybe even like signing a petition might not actually do too much. I wonder like why people still don't do it though, even though it doesn't actually take too long. It's like if you have a platform, why can't you just, I don't know, just say something about it, just make your fans know or make your friends know that like, yeah, I care, I fight with them. Like e.g. I don't really care about this artist, but like, you know, like Bad Baby, the Catch Me Outside girl, she you know what I mean? She likes to use the Black culture a lot, right? But like, if you look at her social
6ix9ine has
media,
been awfully quiet.
she's been awfully quiet.
If I speak,
she's been
I wants to be using
awfully
the N-word
quiet.
over all the songs, but now he's quiet.
It's
Constantly
weird.
scrolling on the timeline, but now he is quiet. Anyway, sorry, continue, sir.
That's cool. Yeah, it's like a lot of people just like love being Black, but they don't like just the whole package. They just like to take all the cool stuff. They don't really care about when it actually gets to the serious stuff, to what actually matters. So yeah, it would be actually nicer if more non-Black people just spoke out and just like reassured me that like, oh yeah, you're on our side, even if it's just a quick little social media post. Like it means a lot.
And this is the thing that I was saying. Where I've been talking about it. Silence is compliance at this point. Honestly, like your silence speaks. I'm saying I've been keeping track of everybody who hasn't been talking, because your silence is speaking volumes to me. It's speaking more than anybody that I've heard talk. And going back to what kind of Manuela was saying as well, like their voices should be used as a microphone. Like they shouldn't be overpowering us. They should be uplifting us and projecting us. And I'm really proud of like so many of my friends that have popped up to me and said, hey, listen, how can I support you? Not how can I, how can I be loud, be heard? It's like, how can I support you and your voice being heard? Because ultimately it's our voices that need to be heard the most, because we're the ones who have been experiencing these issues. We're the ones who have, have the education, have what we need to say. And also to U's point about the celebrity. So like, I have a platform. I don't have a very big platform. Listen, me, I've got a small platform, but I don't care. Like I realize that people uplift their image too much. People think about their brand and their image too much. And I don't know why you want to not want to lose these people who are who are like racist, basically. I'm gonna say it as it is. Why are you afraid to lose the racists? Because you see all these people, like these activists, celebrities tweeting, and then you'll see in their comments people saying, well, I'm not buying your music anymore. And then like, okay, buy it. Like, if you're really that important about your image, then you want the people to support your image to be the people with the right mindset. Do you know what I mean? That's why even me with my small platform, I've said over the past how many days, I don't care what people think of me. I don't care how people perceive me, because at the end of the day, the people that are going to be left who are going to be listening to my platform are the people that I know in my heart of hearts, are the people that have the right mindset and are going to be, the people that I want to go with forward into the future.
Yeah, those are some really good points there. And I think for myself personally, I could have done this whole podcast thing by myself, which was the original plan. But after speaking with people and figuring out the right way to do it, it was to have a panel of Black people, to have it come straight from their mouth instead. And it's also to give the people who don't have the platform, like, I'm not too sure if you guys have platforms. I know Jess has her YouTube channel, and it's got significantly more subscribers than mine. But I think giving you guys a platform and sort of a safe space to speak is what's the most important part here. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I think definitely with the reassurance, like, you don't have to be posting all the time, but just a simple post or a message to a friend who is Black saying, I support you. If there's anything I can do to help, let me know and I'll do my best to do it. You don't have to go stand out on the front lines of Trafalgar Square or the US Embassy to show you support them, because I know I live in the middle of nowhere and there's nowhere I can really get there safely. So I think for white people especially, just let them know that you're there for them. So yeah. Let's move on to the next question. We've sort of already touched on this a little bit, but I'm still going to ask it. How does it make you feel when you see people using Black culture all the time stay silent?
So I kind of already went on a little spiel.
If I begin to speak, if I speak, they will listen. If I speak,
I'm ready for smoke. That's what I'm saying. I'm ready for smoke. Can I go first, please? Because
sis, go.
No, sorry, Jess. We're gonna go Uwe first. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, over the years, I've been to so many private schools, yeah, where there is a tiny percentage of Black people in there. So all these entitled, rich, snobby people feel entitled to say the N-word in my face, make all these jokes, blah, 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 right? And like, there are several occasions where I've seen like these girls in my schools, they will fetishize and be like, oh my, I need a Black boyfriend. Oh my God. Excuse my language. I need Black D in my life. Like blah, 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 blah. I want mixed race children and blah, and all that. Just like incredibly sexualizing Black men and like all that kind of stuff like that. And then they would just go and get they'll go get like cultural appropriate, they'll get all these braids done, blah, 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 even though it damages their hair. But hey, if you want to do that, that's calm.
Most of the time it
like,
looks bad as well.
It looks so bad. It's just not like in logical sense, yeah, braids and protective hairstyles are made to keep 4C hair intact. It's not made for European Caucasian hair. It's not. Like in logical sense, like scrap the meaning of cultural appropriation. In logical sense, it's not made for your hair. So why would you put something that damages your hair just because it's a trend and you see Kim Kardashian do it? Like it's like, to be honest, I'm a victim of this because I still follow Kylie Jenner on like Instagram and whatever. But like I feel like all this is actually because of that family. Like I was looking deep into it. This family has been around in pop culture for what, 10, 15, 20 years. Long time. They've had a huge influence on what we listen to, how we dress like, how girls need to look like, whatever. And 99% of all the things that that's become a trend because of them has been because of Black culture. The whole big lips, Black features, the whole, like, you know, bigger thighs and all that. That's literally Black women features, etc. Braids, all that, Black protective hairstyles, you know, fetishizing over dating Black men. That's all Black culture. And because of that, it started a trend where all these like white girls feel like they need to look like that and all that, etc. First of all, in general sense, like girls shouldn't have to look at celebrities for all that kind of stuff like that. But in general, like these same girls are people that were making fun of me for having big lips, making fun of me for having like a Black nose, all that kind of stuff. Now they're going to get surgery to go and get that. Now they're trying to find themselves a Black husband because Kim Kardashian has a Black husband, etc. But then, so like in their head, they feel like they can take this, but they don't actually respect Black lives. And I think there was something I saw as well. Like, I'm trying my best not to make this very explicit because obviously the word's explicit, but everyone wants to be an N-word until it's time to become an N-word. Like, It's true. It's actually true. You will do everything in your power to look like a Black person, but when it comes down to the actual being a Black person, you're suddenly mute. And that's why I know when people are culture appropriate, send the N-word and etc., they don't respect us. They don't respect us. Because if you did, you would be out here preaching. You would be out here like doing everything you can to save us, but you're not. You're continuing taking the culture, but you're not going to respect the actual creators of that culture. So that's why I don't like people that do that, because why are you being so hypocritical of yourself? Like, if you don't like Black people, just stay away from the culture in the first place. Like I said, it's actually not by force. If you're going to be racist, be racist. Don't take a culture and pretend that you like Black people, but you don't, because if you did, you would be out here supporting us, but you don't. So sorry that went on for too long, but oh well.
Nah, sis, not too long. Go off. Like, we're here. We're here to listen.
Yeah, and I'm here to learn.
Well, I just say that it's insulting. It's a joke, but okay, so I'm a bit extreme. So I've been, every time I'm on Instagram, and I've been spamming my story for the past like week. Every time I see something, because I'm letting all the people who follow me, I'm not an influencer. I don't have a big reach, but I do have quite a lot of followers, and I'm letting them know. I'm literally giving them, this is what is going on in the world. So every time I see a video that I know to be true, it hasn't been forged, or it is real, it's accurate, I put it on my story and I'm saying, this is what's going on in our world. This is our reality. This is what is going on in the world. Who is me? I'm a 20-year-old random girl from London, me, and I'm still posting things to my story. And every time I go on Instagram and I see an actor or actress or writer or whoever I follow who is Caucasian, or no, not even, regardless, who hasn't said a word, anyone who is silent, block, unfollow. I don't need to be there and see you posting about this flat tummy tea, or oh my gosh, back to when we were allowed outside and I was in Miami. I don't need to see that right now, because you are staying oblivious to what is actually going on right now. And I don't need this sense of superficiality, like everything's going to be okay. See, I'm doing great. I don't need it. Unless you're willing to be vocal and speak up about what is going on right now, the current situation. I don't need to see your dog. I don't need to see your new car. I don't care. Unfollow. Get out. No, we should be educating and showing each other. I don't want to see another advertisement. I don't want to see another promotion, because you don't care. And that's okay. But I don't need to follow you. That's just my opinion.
And to that point, I called out somebody yesterday, because this person who tried to chat me up one time as well. Like, so let me even drag them and their name a little bit further. Yeah, who tried to chat me up one time. White person. Let me be clear. White, right? They've been posting all of their like, for the past, I'm pretty sure 5 days in a row, they've been posting selfies and throwback images. Their story's been all about Taylor Swift and Lady Gaga, whatever, all this stuff. Yeah, but I've only seen one single story post about Black Lives Matter, and I called them out on it yesterday. I said, hold on. So clearly you're on your Instagram quite often. Clearly you're talking. Clearly you're using your platform, but you only want to post one little thing. Please, I said bye-bye. I said see you. I said mwah, au revoir. But yeah, let me let somebody else talk, because I'm looking for something right now. When I find it, yeah.
What was the question again?
Good question. It was, how does it make you feel when you see people using Black culture all the time stay silent?
Yeah. I feel like I'm really numb to cultural appropriation, because it's just so common, but that doesn't negate how disgusting it is. I just want to emphasize what everybody else has said. It doesn't make sense to me how you can hate a race so much for no reason, yet you love their aesthetic. It's as if they're toys, or they're dolls for you to idolize in a weird, or fetishize in a really weird way. Like, it's creepy. Like, don't they just sit back sometimes and think, rah, like, what am I doing? It actually doesn't make sense to me. I don't know when or how this will end, but it's disgusting.
Also, jumping from what everybody said, I also think in a lot of sense it also come back to us as Black people, because we know that when we're talking about like white people that are using our culture to promote themselves, we know that they're doing it, but we're still supporting them, even with the big brands that we know that they don't care about Black people. We know that they have appropriated a lot of our culture. We don't say anything, we support it. So that's also damaging, because that doesn't change. That doesn't it's not challenging racism in any ways. So yeah, it frustrates me in both ways when I see other friends that I have, or other Black people supporting people that are exploiting Black people, basically.
Yeah, I think I'm not too. I wouldn't say in my personal opinion I'm too fussed about everyone that I follow or whatever posting something or blah blah. But I do think it's definitely like quite weird that like if someone I know personally that like they'll love up Black people, they'll fetishize, I don't know, Black boys or Black girls, they'll buy clothes that Black people wear, they'll listen to Black music all the time, they'll love to say the N word. I don't really know those people actually, but like yeah, all those sort of people, and then they just wouldn't like support when it actually matters. I feel like that's really weird, and I definitely wouldn't want to be like friends with them or follow them. So that's what I can think about.
Is it time for me to go off? I think it's time for me to go off.
Spill the tea, sis.
We love to see it.
So I'm gonna start with a a piece of modern day, what I think is basically poetry from a young artist called Dave. I'm sure you're all aware. But the specific line I was looking at is Black is so confusing because the culture, they're in love with it. They'll take our features when they want and have their fun with it. Never seem to help when things they knew would come with it. Loud in our laughter, silent in our suffering. That says enough to me, yeah? Because when I look at the situation right now, and I see the likes of you've got so many people speaking up. LeBron James, I can't even start to go through names. Steph Curry, NBA stars, NFL stars, obviously Colin Kaepernick. You've got musicians and artists all using their platform, yeah. And these are the same people that will have these same celebrities in their comments saying, yeah, oh, I love this image. Oh, it's so cool, yeah. They're happy to support, and then they're happy to post pictures of them in a do-rag or them, in a community neighborhood giving out food or whatever. They're happy to do that. And they're happy to take what they've stolen from us already. They stole our culture because we didn't give it to them. They stole our culture, and it goes further back than modern history. They stole our artifacts. They stole our people from our countries, and they've continued to take it and use 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 it. And what really annoys me now is that you basically wanted to be Black up until the point that you realize that Black suffering exists. You really, really were happy. And listen, the Coongenians, them ones, yeah, I'm happy with them. They can go and just do what they need to do, because I will never I was never for them anyway, and I never will be supporting them, because like.
Did you just call them Coongenians?
Yep. Because like it's like a mixture of Kardashian, Jenner, and Coons. Like, yeah, because
that mood though.
I'm tired. I'm tired because the thing is, now the tweet that really got me was the one where somebody said to Kylie Jenner like, have you not been an activist? And then she's like, I did. And you're right, Jess, when she was talking about that one little thing that she posted, yeah, people like that just actually disgust me. They actually disgust me. They continually use filters to make their skin look darker. They put products in their hair that are products of our people, my people. Oh, listen, sorry, I'm getting I'm actually getting like
go off. Like Josh gave us this platform with the kindness of his heart for us to go off. So go off. Thank you, Josh, by the way.
And yeah, and it just even down. Oh, we're gonna talk about it now. Even down to this very university that most of us attend. Yeah, because these people, especially, and a lot of us here have been part of Black societies, whether it be Niger Sock, Ghana Sock, ACS, Urban Female Movement, Womanist, whatever it is. A lot of us have been part of black societies at UEA, right? And these people love to take and never love to acknowledge, because they love to throw their flags up in the hive. They'll love to say, yeah, we're here doing this and here doing that. But now that we're suffering, where's been the tweets? Huh? Where has been the support? Where's been the emails? They want to email me every day about next thing that I don't want to hear about. Where's the email to say, hey, here's where you can support. Here's how we condemn in this situation. Whew. I'm just tired, yo. I'm actually tired. I'm tired.
Wait, I have a question actually.
Yeah, go for it.
Has UEA actually, or the SU, said anything about this? Like,
I wouldn't know, but I don't.
Nah, they've actually been mute, because I've checked my emails. They've been all mute. In fact, I've checked because I've been very observant in this situation about every single organization, university. They've all been mute. The only group of institutions that's actually vocalized it is church, which we love to see. Love to see it. The university's been very quiet. Even generally, a lot of students from the university have been quiet too. I think I only saw one post about it on Confessions, and it was probably by a Black woman like myself, because it sounded like it, but hey, I don't know. But the university has not commented on it, nothing. Only like I think a couple institutions have, but and then like the churches that I support and go to have all talks about it. So that's actually, I think that's the only organization I've heard about. Yeah.
And as we said, their silence speaks volumes. Listen, we all know how I feel about this SU. We're not here to talk about that today, but their silence speaks volumes. And even also, I know some of you guys probably not part of the group, but there's that welcome group as well, which is has most of the UEA students, and they talk about stuff. Bruv, 11,000 members. I haven't heard one single thing about it.
Yeah. To be honest, we just need Kendall Jenner to get a Pepsi can out, and this will all be over. But anyway.
Oh, don't kill me! Oh.
Yeah. I think that's. Does anyone else have anything they want to share on that question? All right. Let's move on to question 5, and then after this question we'll have a little break. So question 5 is, have you had any instances or experience in the past when it comes to racial profiling?
Who wants to go first?
Who?
Because I'm trying my best not to go full on in first, but who wants to go first?
Yeah, you don't have to go into detail if it's something you don't want to talk
please,
about.
I want to go into detail.
Oh no,
Yeah.
And what's the funny thing? Sorry, I do want to say something quickly, because the funny thing is that two people here, me and Jess and Mary, have actually we've all experienced it together.
Oh my goodness!
Together,
We experienced one together. Wait, Aaron, do you want to talk about it, or?
Yeah, I'll talk about it, and then I'll talk about some other ones later on. But I think it's a good place to start, because all three of us were there, right? So it was about 3 a.m. maybe.
Yeah, it was like 2:30, 3 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, what happened was so I'd invited a bunch of people over to my house for dinner and games and stuff, and we'd had a fun time. Everybody was still there, and then it was time everybody was heading home. Now, these two lived in the city, which is quite far, and so I said, let me take you, let me drive you there. So we went. We're heading on our way. Get to a traffic light. Now there's a no left turn thing at the light, which, to be honest with you, if you ask me, was not clearly signed. But listen, we're gonna ignore that, yeah? Because I'll put my hands up. I didn't see the sign. I'm in the wrong in that case, yeah? Fine, cool. Turn the corner now. The police now come and stop us. Now this was in December, so it was still very bitterly cold, yeah? And I was there in shorts and a hoodie, right? And so we get stopped, get pulled over. The police officer, you saw me, you guys saw it. I instantly went into my prepare to interact with the police mode, the voice, everything about it. I knew exactly what they were going to do. They were going to ask me to step out of the car. So yeah, basically what happened was they was like, do you know why I pulled over? I was like, yep, I'm aware now. Cool. So there was like, right, we're just gonna run we're gonna run a few things. When I'm telling you now, they ran every single test in the book that they had, to the point that I'm standing out there. I am visibly freezing. It must have been, I can't imagine it was over the degrees, probably in the negative. And I'm there in shorts and in a like a little hoodie, and they're running up. And then one of the officers goes to the other officer, oh, have you run this test yet? No. Now we're going to run this test. We're going to run the next test. We're going to run the next test. We're going to run the next test. I challenge anybody. Like, do you think they would have treated me the same or treated us the same if our skin color was not what it is? Because I can tell you now, unequivocally, that there would have been a very different experience, right? And then to add on to it as well, they asked me. They was like, do you want to go and sit in the police car? I was like, for what reason? I am not a guilty man. I have done nothing for you to now make me go and sit in a police car, because now anybody comes past that sees me sitting in a police car, they're going to assume that I've done something here and that I'm a problem and that, oh, here we go, another black man, honestly. And it was just for me, it was such a visceral experience, because up until that point, my experience in Norwich had been very good. Now we'll get into my experience back home, but my experience in Norwich had been relatively good. Like, I don't even want to say good, I want to say neutral, as in I had nothing to or against. And honestly, that situation, like, the girls can attest to it, afterwards I was just so shaken by it all, because I was just at the audacity of the way these people behaved towards me. And the fact is, as I was never rude, I never raised my voice, I complied completely, and yet still the way they looked at me with such utter disgust. Whew, sorry guys, I'm actually, this is
It was terrible. It was really bad. Very, very bad. Like, it just go on for it went on for like an hour.
Yeah. And please tell me why they needed to collect everybody's details all of a sudden as well.
Yeah, they were asking our names, first and last names. I was
was that business here? Like what? There was no need. It was literally just because it was a car full of black people. That was literally it.
Pretty much, like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You hit the nail on the head. And I give glory to God that nothing extreme came out of that situation. But when I was talking to my mom about it, I even said, like, part of me wanted to report the situation, but I knew that nothing was going to happen if I said anything. So I said, you know what, I'm even just going to leave it. And because I was just physically drained, I was just distressed by the whole situation. But yeah, I've got other stories, but I want to hear some other people's stories. So,
well, I've had multiple. As a black woman in England, I have, when I was with my school, we went on a little French exchange trip to France, and there were 4 black girls, and we all got stopped. They stopped all of us, did a whole body search for all of us, checked all of our suitcases, all of our bags, and we were like 14, 15, and that was so frustrating. I remember being so annoyed because obviously we got split up from the main group. Nobody else got checked except from the black girls, and I was like, oh, okay, so this is the world we live in. I was also Jussie Smollett, which was so infuriating because after that, my incident happened after the whole Jussie Smollett scandal. So obviously he was proven to be lying. He was proven to be false about everything. But I was literally walking home from a friend's birthday party in UVA, walking home, about a 15-20 minute walk, and a car drove past and 2 white boys were whooping and hollering. I was like, oh, okay, they've had a good night. And one of them out of the window shouted, N-word slut. And I was laughing because I was like, this did not just happen. And I put on my Snapchat story and I was like, some white guys have just called me the N-word, but I didn't put that they called me the N-word slut, because that is next level, just so demoralizing and dehumanizing. I've been called a dirty black female dog. It's kind of a joke because I'm so kind of used to it, and I'm just kind of like, okay, well, this is the world we live in, and everyone likes to say America's the big bad guy, but really and truly over here, we are just as bad. And in my college, 4 of my friends and I, we had to fight every single teacher so that we could start our first ACS. We had to fight. All of our posters were getting taken down. They told us that it had to be that our ACS was exclusive. It didn't make people feel welcome, even though our demographic clearly showed that we had Caucasians, we had Latinx, we had a diverse entourage. But they would take down our posters. They would say, you can't talk about this topic because it's too, it will make people feel uncomfortable. I've had so many situations that my first instinct is always to laugh, because I'm like, oh yeah, well, not surprised. So we just kind of shrug our shoulders and move on with it, which is sad because that's how climatized we are to it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we're too climatized. I'm sorry, I have to go off again because what she just said reminded me, because this university, yeah, first of all, Urban Female Movement, which is a society created to empower Black women. When I tell you the struggles that we have faced the past year, even just to get the society set up for the same thing, it was seen as exclusionary. It was seen as, well, it's not inclusive of everybody. We weren't trying to be inclusive of everybody. That was the whole point. We weren't saying that people couldn't turn up, and we had other people turn up, because the whole point was you were there to listen to the experiences of Black women and to help empower Black women, right? I was called the N-word on a night out, and when I confronted the guy involved, I was then kicked out and seen as the aggressor in the situation. It was me who got reprimanded in a very infamous basketball game that, if you know about, in my second year that happened, when the girls team was basically being abused by these bunch of older women. When I called out on them, and then I was racially abused, I then confronted them, and once again I was seen as the aggressor. And funny enough, although there was many people who got involved in that situation, it was only me, Chris, and Jenny. So two Black guys and a girl of color. I'm not too sure where Jenny's from specifically, were the only people that had to have meetings with the university about it. Tell me why that is. Tell me why that is. Sorry. Anyway, somebody else. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's my turn. Right. So, this is, I think, probably the most famous one. The so much, like, famous one, as in, like, a lot of people know about it. The amount of times I've had to stop myself from making a story time because I know it would cause tension. But yeah, I was racially abused and targeted by my old flatmates in first year. If you know, you know, but I'm not going to get into full detail about it because it's a long story. Sorry.
Save it for your story time.
Sorry. I was choking on ignorance. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. But yeah, so basically, there was this one guy. I forgot the name of the town he's from, but he's from a UKIP supporting town. So that already explains for itself. I remember there were a lot of incidences where he was very, like, off with me. The first couple months he was actually very nice, but then back in, like, January, February of, like, that year, he just started being off with me and stuff like that. And then there were a couple instances, I'm not going to name them for legal reasons, but basically, long story short, these two nice flatmates, probably the only nice flatmates I had that whole time, came up to me, he's like, Jess, we need to talk. I'm like, why? He's like, well, I feel like it's my place to tell you, but Will, who's the person, I actually don't even mind naming him. Yeah, his name's Will. Yeah, you racist. Anyways, yeah, he was going around saying that I am aggressive and that all my friends, bear in mind, all my closest friends that I invited to my flat were all black women, either black or black women. They were like, me and my friends are aggressive and that I make him feel uncomfortable every time I walk in the room. Like, how can you say things like that? For people that don't know, calling a black woman aggressive is probably the worst thing you could ever do, like the biggest mistake, because black women have this huge stereotype of being the aggressive, quote unquote, ghetto girl, blah, 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 blah. This boy was saying I was aggressive. I was like, I think I heard that he called me ghetto at one point, etc. And he said, and I quote, "You do not deserve to live in this flat and I want you kicked out." Like, how can you say that? He didn't even have the balls to say it to my face, because I called him out on it. I'm like, come on, say it, come on. He's like, no, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. Like, but you said it. You said it. This is the thing. A lot of these racists, yeah, when it comes to actually being racist to my face, they'll actually just not do it. They're too scared to. They'll be racist behind closed doors on troll accounts. But when I finally give them the platform to be racist, they're scared because they know it's wrong. That's the problem. That's a sick problem. Some of these racists will know what they're doing is wrong, so they go behind closed doors to do it. So they morally know it's a bad thing to do it, but they keep on doing it. I think that's the worst thing. And when I finally gave them the platform, they're mute because they know and they realize how horrible it is. And like a lot, and then after I left that flat, because I was on an ongoing war with accommodation, I went on an ongoing war and everything. I finally left that flat and moved to another one. And like a lot of people started realizing the horrible person he was. So literally the week after I left, about 3 other of my flatmates moved flats. Like this, because apparently he kept on talking all these racial things about me as well, even after I left the flat. It just shows that also as well, that a lot of these racists are actually just jealous. They're actually jealous of Black success. They don't actually want to see us win, because at the end of the day, I'm a computer science student, like a Black woman computer science student. And like, Uy, I don't know if you want to speak on it as well, but like, there are not that many of us. There's not many of Black people doing computer science, like, especially as a Black woman as well. Like, there's not that many of us, and they don't want to see us win in general.
And I'd just like to add that your year has more Black computing students than my year does even. And that tells you something.
It actually does. And like, I want to be very specific on it as well. Like, there's not even Black women doing computer science. There's barely even Black women in general. So we are such a huge target. And like, this is also moving on to another quick story I'm going to do before I finish off. But like, this is not even my story. This is my mom's story. I wish she was here so she can explain it for herself. But I think this is when I realized when you're a Black woman doing a science, it's so hard to get a job and opportunities in that industry. My mom has had to wait 10 years for a promotion in the same company just because she's a Black woman. She's part of the 1% of Black women that have actually successed at their job in that whole corporate company's history. She's had to watch all her colleagues get promotions every year because they are white. And she only got that promotion last year. And she's been working for that company for about 15 years. So it really does show that you literally have to work 10 times harder as a Black person in order to get anywhere in life just because of the color of our skin. It sucks. It actually sucks, because there's so many times I've also realized, well, I have to work 10 times harder doing computer science just because I'm a Black woman, because they don't take me seriously. And it's sad. It's really sad. So like, racial profiling is really real, because they will actually look at your face before they look at your degree. They'll look at your features. They'll look at you being a Black person before they see your status. There were a lot of times where people have actually called me dumb and all that because I don't look smart, but because I'm a Black woman. But then when I tell them, actually, my whole life I've been to private education. I got ABB on my A levels, and I got an unconditional offer to UEA. And they're like shocked. And I'm like, why are you shocked? I can be smart. It's not like you have to stop profiling the Black people into thinking they can't get anywhere, which we can. So yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
Who's next?
So I feel like a lot of the racism I have experienced are like covert microaggressions, like the looks that you get when you're in certain places, hushed words, whispers, certain looks, like those kind of things. But one particular instance I remember was in first year in Norwich, when I went to take money out from cash machine. And I was approaching, and then I think he was a crackhead because he looked a bit, I don't know, in front of me. And so he was about to leave, so I was approaching, and then he was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, just ignored it, kept going. My friend was with me.
Sorry, I
And
think
then
Anonymous has messed up your audio then.
Yeah, not gonna lie. I think Anonymous just hacked your computer because you just
You
like
were
a
all
like
over
a
the place, and I thought,
what did you
Hi
do last?
Anonymous.
The
Hi
last
Anonymous. Hire
like
me.
5 to 10 seconds we
Hire
didn't
me,
hear.
please. I did computer science, please. Hi. Hire me.
it was
Okay,
very
so
Mr. Robot. Start again.
oh, basically, I was going from so he was about to leave the cash machine, and I was about to take out money, and then all I heard was him turn around and go, "Go back to your country," and I was like, ha ha ha. I literally just laughed because is that supposed to insult me? I was born here. I don't know what you mean. I just feel like a lot of the time I'm torn between acknowledging it and ignoring it, because on one hand I don't want them to feel as if what they're doing affects me. Then on the other hand, I feel like it's a duty to speak up and educate. But then I hate when people say educate, no offense, because it's not a matter of education anymore. Everyone knows it doesn't make sense out of a normal, decent human's heart to not have compassion towards another. So when you say educate, what are you educating really? You have a brain, you have a heart, you have eyes. That's what education you need.
Yeah, I think we've moved beyond education and now we're on to action.
Yeah. I think for me, the the racial the racist event that happened for me in UEA was within my course. So I study development, with international development, which is very white centered. Like everything we read, every like article or books we read is written by a white person that they're talking about Africa, which doesn't make sense because how did Europe come? How did Europe start from colonizing Africa, but then after when you stop colonize Africa, now you're all saviors, and that's the way, in my opinion, development is being taught. But anyways, in second year, I did the module Sub-Saharan Development, and throughout the whole thing, I was really angry about it, basically because it was just the same reason, like how can we study about Africa from a white person perspective, and I'm not just gonna sit there and allow this white professor to tell me about my own country, my own people. So there was another like problem that happened, that there's this professor that says the N-word every year to explain something, but she keeps saying, oh, Black people say nigger, and she would say the word nigger basically. And a lot of people have been telling me this, and so I wanted to do something about it. And I went to the head of the dev teaching course, and I told him about, oh, there's this professor that keeps saying the N-word, but I wasn't there, so not that I can testify, but a lot of people have told me about it. And the second problem is that in this module, with everything that's being taught is from a white perspective. And she was like, hey, it's fine, we're trying to change it. I didn't hear anything from her. Didn't hear nothing, no progression, nothing. So at the end of second year, I wrote another long email, and I was like, listen, I did not join university, I did not join dev for somebody to miseducate me. I'm not paying all this money to be miseducated. And I got an email back not too long after from another professor, because I tagged one, I sent it to the head of that, but then she like tagged different professors. And one professor emailed me saying that, oh, I'm gonna teach the module next year, but before you write an email like that, you should like, basically he was saying that I should not have wrote it the way I wrote, and I should have emailed it to somebody else. He did not say anything about like what my concerns were, nothing like that. So I was really angry. And he said that, oh, when I'm about to program again for the module, I would love to email you and we can talk about it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, I would love to email me next year, like during the year when you are about to teach again. And I don't hear from him until like the week before the module is about to start. And it's at the back of my head because it's really this module really made me angry. And he emailed me like on the day saying that, oh, I'm about to like I'm programming for the module. Can you come today, like in the next hour? And obviously I was not. You cannot tell me last minute come, and so I didn't go. But I was like, can we schedule for another time, because I still want to talk about it. And I didn't hear anything from him, and I was so angry about it, because now he can go to the head of dev and say that, oh, I tried to reach out to Manuela but she couldn't do it, blah blah blah. And so then things don't change. And I also asked people that took their module this year, and they told me that, oh, it's much better. They called they're trying to like add like Black writers and stuff, which is great. But why didn't, because obviously it was because of me that you started doing all these changes, but like you're not gonna point out the fact that this wasn't like this last year. You're not gonna point the fact that you guys made a mistake, and it's all trying to cover up that it's all like a cover up, which really frustrates me. And I'm really, really glad that I'm done with UEA, because I honestly couldn't do it another year.
And that's on what? Period.
Yeah, I mean, I could talk about so many experiences from being at home in London, or even when I went to college, because I went to college in like Havering and Upminster. I went to 2 different colleges and talked about the police there. But since we're on the topic of like uni anyway, and what Mary was saying, like, you know, sometimes it's overt racism, but a lot of times the experiences that we're experiencing, especially at university, are the subdued ones, the ones where if you don't look back at it, you don't actually think about it, and you don't go, oh, wait a second, you don't even realize that what you experienced was, you know, racial bias, racial prejudice. And it wasn't until recently when I started to fully process everything that happened over the campaign season that I realized to the full extent just how much of a battle I had against other people, and just how much, and even to the point of, I was thinking, so for those of you, to give just a little bit of context, I ran for the role of diversity community officer full-time position at my university. I lost. I came second, even though I won the popular vote, and I won 7 out of 8 rounds. But one of the things that really struck to me was when I was in the room. So when they announce the winner, they take everybody who was a candidate and take them into a room separately, and then they talk. When I was in the room, it was me as a Black person and then a bunch of white people. Once it got to the final round, which was me and this other girl, all the other girls were holding hands and supporting each other and being like, oh, you know, yes, that's a, and nobody even looked at me. Not even the person reading out looked at me. She was looking at the rest of them. And I realized to myself, like, why is that? Why was I the one that was alienated from that from the whole experience? You know what I mean? And just going back to the campaigning process and everything, the amount of times I was told, no, I can't do this, or this is going to be seen as me having preferential or me giving priorities. Yes, I was trying to give priorities, because the thing is our voices weren't being heard. Our voices are still not being heard. And the amount of times that people were talking about conflict of interest, or even the fact that, so when people were voting for me, we created this hashtag and people were posting images and, you know, post, and then I was reposting it. I get pulled in for a meeting where I'm told that, you know, this can be seen as propaganda because it shows that a particular group of people are backing me. And yes, they were. The Black community, in fact, and in general, the larger minority communities at UEA were supporting me. And that's the facts. And the thing is, when I started to unpack and realize it, I realized the level of microaggressions, the level of small discriminations, the level of biases that I had to combat. I'm shocked that I only lost by 13, to be honest with you. I'm actually shocked.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a case of like minorities backing you. It's just your friends were backing you as well. So it's just, it is what it is. But yeah, I think I'm sorry you didn't win. I wish I could have voted. I don't know if I could have as a non-student, but I'd have backed you.
It's sad though because like I think that's also the problem with the UEA. We do need a lot more representation of us in the SU. Like yes, we have an ACS and it's very big, but it needs to get to the SU because ACS has had problems trying to do what they do because of the SU, and the SU just doesn't understand, and that's because we're not represented. I think that's why representation is just very important to us, because the more people of us that are in higher powers and in more like powers in which they can make decisions, that's when all of our voices can easily be heard. So like, to be honest, when it came to Aaron losing, it didn't only just affect him as well, it affected a huge group of us, because I was not only sad because for him because I'm his friend, I'm sad for the whole community as well. We needed Aaron. We actually really did. We needed him as the voice for us to in the SU, because we don't really have that in the SU. So it's really disheartening when a lot of us can't get into those kind of positions. Like I said with my mom had to wait 10 years to get into a senior position in a job she's worked with for 15 years. It's so unfair and disheartening. I hope in the next coming years, I think hope people will finally understand and will finally put a lot of us into higher positions, especially UEA at university. We need a lot more of our representation in your SU. If you're all for the people and all for helping us as a community, then put us in your office. Like, it's simple as.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say, sorry for everyone's personal experiences. I just want to quickly say that I would say, compared to like the general Black experiences that people experience around the world, I'd say I've been quite fortunate. I've just had a couple of run-ins at like shops like Aldi and Sainsbury's. They'll think I've stolen something or to throw me around. I'll be like, yeah, cool then. And maybe some security guards will think I'm holding a knife. I just want to say I'm mostly mad at like when a lot of like racist people, typically it tends to be like it's like white young men, and they'll just go after like girls of color, especially black girls, and they because they just know that like it's easier to go after the black girls rather than going after a group of black boys or whatever. I think it's so annoying how much cowards they are, and I'd just really like to stand up for girls that have to go through all that heckling more.
That's my bro.
And
That's our king. That's our king.
Our king, period.
Our king.
protect Black women at all costs. And
Like Malcolm X said, the most disrespected person in America, but generally in the world, is the Black woman. The most unprotected person is the Black woman. The most neglected person is the Black woman. That's all I'm going to say.
The book, Their Eyes Are Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. Had to read it. It was on my curriculum and I was shocked. I was like, wow, we got a bit of spice in our English lit curriculum. Lovely to see it. I read that book and the protagonist is, she is a Black woman. Well, no, she's mixed race. She's fair skinned, but she is still a Black woman. And her Black grandmother said to her, the order of, I can't remember the exact quote because it was a year ago, but the order of society obviously has white men on top, white women, Black men, and we are the bottom of the food chain. We are below the mules. Black people, we're not even considered human. So we come under the animals, and Black women are under them. We have been trampled on, stepped on, and we just have to go, sorry, massa, I'll try again. Please forgive me. We're always the ones who somehow have to save face and remain calm. It's ridiculous. It's a joke. So, and it is often very much white men targeting Black women because they know in a lot of cases, Black men have their own struggles going on right now and they can't defend us. So we're just kind of left here alone, left to fend for ourselves. And when we do, we're aggressive.
Like, that's also another point I want to realize. Like, I think this is also a time to realize the amount of stuff Black women go through. I will say this to the day we die. Like Malcolm X, we are actually so neglected, not just by non-Black people, but within our community as well. Like, I know my Black kings on here are not like that because they're kings. Like, shout out Aaron, y'all ain't like that. But like within our community, we are actually abused by our Black men as well. We are actually discriminated within our community by Black men. It's because we're also women as well, because not only do we face the racism, we face the sexism as well, all together at once. It's a mess, and we're so disregarded. And the funny thing is that all these Black men that disregard us Black women, at the end of the day, who's fighting for your rights on the street? Us. Who's the one that will defend you against any other race, that will always be by your side, that will always be there to protect you? Us. Who birthed you? Us. So at the end of the day, you can literally do all this, but Black women will be on your side, period. So I cannot believe that we have to go through this within our community as well. Not only outside, but within our community. Like, that's sickening. It's so sickening. That's why we need so much appreciation from all over. Like, with this situation as well, I do not care. I will fight for my Black kings any day. That's why I'm going out to protest. I will do it any day. But I want that energy back. I want that energy back. When I am being racially abused by white girls, I want that energy back. I want that energy the way I'm giving you guys the energy. Like, if I can't be doing this for nothing. As much as I will do it for nothing regardless, I don't want to be doing it for nothing. I want my respect within my community as well, because I don't even get that respect outside the community. And you think I'm going to accept it within the community, but I just can't believe that Black men actually do disrespect people that birthed you. Your mother's a Black woman. You're disrespecting your mother. How could you do that? Anyways, Black women are kings. Kings. Dumb. Sorry. Black women are queens. I just had to say that. Yeah.
It's so true. First of all, Black women are queens. Protect them at all costs. And I just want to go back to what Yui said, because it was actually quite sad to hear, where, I don't know if you guys clocked onto it, but he said that he was privileged to not have, as many bad experiences. But did you hear what he said? I'm telling you now, I don't know how many white people can come and tell me that they've had the same experiences he had. And he's telling me that he's blessed in that situation. That tells you just how much we have to go through that. He considers, only a few run-ins with the police, only being thought that he has a knife carried on him once or twice. He thinks of that as a blessing. If that doesn't tell you guys everything, then, I don't know what else to say.
Points were made.
Points were very much made, and they were very good points as well. I don't want us to go into another tangent, but I think there's a lot of the time there's also Black women attacking Black women, and
very true, very, very true. In general, us women do need to stick together as well. We also don't want to build this narrative as well. So it also starts within us. It first starts with us women, protecting us Black women as well, like all of us together. Because I don't know if you've noticed as well, they love to put us in competition in the media. I was reading about this, actually. It started from, I think, with Naomi Campbell and Tyra Banks. The media put them in competition from the get-go. That's what caused all their feuds. Same with Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. They love to see Black women turn on against each other. So we can't let them see that. We can't let them see that. So it's a good point that Josh actually said that it also starts at home. Don't let these people have this perception of us. Don't do that to us. Support each other, support our grinds, all that, etc. In general as well, support each other. This is not the time for us to be turning against each other. Generally, not even just Black women against Black women, generally Africans versus Caribbeans as well. That battle needs to end. It needs to be deaded. The only argument that I will actually be a part of is the Nigerian versus Ghanaian jollof rice argument. I'll be a part of that. Anything else?
Relax.
Anything else?
Nigerian jollof is the best.
Period.
Come on.
Y'all both foolish. Very, 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 very foolish.
Oh, you like dry jollof rice? Calm. Say less. Say less. Say less.
Better than that oily nonsense that you guys want to call jollof.
I'd rather have oily nonsense than to choke on your rice, on banana rice. What?
The only thing you would do is drown in the oil. Oh, Lord.
But you choke on literally concrete.
Bro, jollof is jollof. Jollof is jollof. As a Caribbean person, your rice tastes exactly the same as their rice. Rice is rice. Relax.
Oh,
I think
Sorry,
my
okay,
rice
that
will
was
taste
okay.
a bit
On a real
different.
thing, that was just a joke. Like on a real thing, like Africans versus Caribbeans, like that needs to dead. That needs
Yeah.
to dead. Especially in a time like this now, we are actually a part of the same race. We need to fight this system together. We can't do this apart. So yeah.
and I think that goes to the point that everybody's kind of been saying recently, which is, as a Black community, we need unity right now. It doesn't matter your race, religion, creed, no matter your background. Like, that's when we say all Black lives matter, we need to recognize that that means all Black lives matter. Like, we're not excluding anybody, because we are not going to get anywhere if we don't have unity.
Well, that concludes part 1. Please do head over to Aaron's Roundtable podcast to listen to part 2. We talk a lot more about some of the questions we've already talked about, new questions, and also we talk about some things that have been sent in from some of Aaron's followers and listeners. I'll be putting a link in the description to the podcast. We're going to be releasing them at the same time, so you can literally head straight over there right now. Or you can take a break, whatever's up to you, but the podcast is there to listen to. Please go and listen to it. But before we go, I'd like to share some of my thoughts. I've written these down because I knew that I would forget something. So if I'm not looking at the camera, if you're watching this, I'm just reading from my notes. Racism is still alive. Will Smith said it best when he said racism isn't getting worse, it's getting filmed. We cannot turn a blind eye to this issue. Nothing will change if we do. We've heard it from the panel with their experiences, and it's still alive even in the UK and even in little old Norwich. In fact, on the day of the podcast recording, the news about Belly Majinga, a black female who was a railway worker who died because someone with COVID-19 spat on her whilst at work, and she later died of COVID-19 herself. The British Transport Police said that no further action would be taken in her death, but when a police officer is spat on during COVID-19, there are arrests made left, right and centre for the people who spat on them. This is not justice. This is not a world we should be living in. If the person who spat on Belly Majinga, I really hope I'm saying that correctly. If I'm not, I do apologise. The person who spat on her should be getting the same sentences as the people who spat on the police. That is murder. Yeah. This is real. This is in the UK. We cannot stay silent any longer, or things are going to get worse. That's pretty much all I have to say on the matter. If you would like to actively get involved, I'm going to link a website down below that is a gateway to petitions, places to donate, and lots of other useful resources down below. I've used some of the resources myself. I'm also going to be selling some Black Lives Matter merch. Well, merch. These are t-shirts. It's a t-shirt and a hoodie, just with Black Lives Matter with the Black Lives Matter fist on it. It's not much, but all the profits that would normally go in my pocket are going straight to the Black Lives Matter movement. I'm going to link the donation page down below as well, so you can directly go to the website. You don't have to buy a t-shirt to donate, and all of your money will be going to the cause. But if you would like to buy a t-shirt is £15 with it's like £4.82 going to the movement, and if you'd like to buy a hoodie is £25, but just over £5 will be going to the movement. So if a t-shirt would be better in terms of percentages going to the movement, but it's up to you. If you want a hoodie, you can have a hoodie. If you want a t-shirt, you can have a t-shirt. And once again, I'm not getting any money from it. All the profit that would normally go to me is going to the Black Lives Matter movement. It would be more, but I use an external company. But anyway, yeah, so don't forget, part 2 is out now on Roundtable Podcast. The link will be below. Thank you for listening. Black Lives Matter.